before, a long time ago, like, I mean, when I was young, 20 years ago, every guitar was just fixed. They said, well, let's get a Condor, let's get these so-called good guitars, the traditional guitars. And by the way, watch this thing, because it doesn't have anything to do with the new evolution of the modern flamenco guitar to what is the traditional flamenco guitar. Like the negra or blanca, it's the same. Watch that at the description of this video. And this is because also the connotation of the modern flamenco guitar. And in that time before, every guitar was arreglada, fixed. Means you have to buy it there and then you already knew it has some problem. They're either on the frets or for sure on the setting, because the setting is that the top has to be in harmony with the level of the fretboard, the neck, how is settled, the top and the bridge. When this has three things in harmony, then that's a great instrument. But those ones there, to halfway compensate and cover for these deficiencies from day one, because there was innate on them these problems, like tuning problems and other things. Also about the pulsation, you have to be fixed. Means they knew that. I also did it many times. You buy a guitar and then you fix it and say, please refret this, go to another guy and refret it, turn down this, the knot here, turn it down also, so maybe somehow you have to even modify the bridge original and go there with this thing and sand it down to put other setting. Up to the extreme, one time my friend Jose Miguel Rodriguez Casas in Madrid fixed me one that he was a big friend, and he said, well, I'm doing this just for you because you are my friend, but I shouldn't be doing that because all these guitars have a lot of problems, and mine also did have, as usual, problems on the distance of the walls. That was 25 years ago. And then he said, I will fix it, so he has to fill up the walls, and then with another drilling thing, drill it up with the bridge on. So it was an enormous job, and he said, look, this I'm doing just because you are my friend, but I shouldn't be doing it. Now I understand why. So, but that was how it was, because refretting and changing that, also varnishing, a lot of varnishing, got plastic varnish there, which nowadays every wood's fresh. That's another problem. Everyone has fresh wood except these people. Very few Arcángel Fernández guitars, so that you can get great guitars, but most of them nowadays is fresh wood. And please watch the description of this video, another about aging woods, and then one below that explains one maker, the violin maker, is showing, demonstrating in a test how, because of the aged spruce, if the spruce is aged, then it has a lot of air inside. It means that the waves of the sound move differently with the wood, that microscopically, of course, we are talking about very minor things, but it's true, because when he throws the piece of fresh wood, it sinks. And when he drops there in the water, like in a fish tank, he has there, and then he drops the wood, and one floats and the other sinks. And then, of course, the one that is aged floats and the other sinks. And the same thing for the sound. So now how can we evaluate it? If a guitar doesn't even tune, it's sinking everything, the top is bending, everything is a disaster. So that's why I don't play that anymore. And please watch the description of this video how to rate and evaluate with objective tests of measurements, precision, and guitar. Right? And then that's very subjective how you want to play it. But before, guitars have to be fixed, which means they were wrong already to begin, and we took it for granted until so very few years ago we said, well, this was wrong really, because why I have to fix when I get an instrument, why I have to refret it again and change even the bridge height and go under to make a bigger saddle or lower. Why I have to be changing that now? Well, guess what? We never thought about it. We just keep doing it. That's how many of the bad stuff happens, because one doesn't know it, is not aware of it. right? So guitars before, you get a so-called good guitar that has a bunch of things which is not a standard thing. And for example, you see Paco's guitar, the one that he played out of just habit, as he himself said in an interview. There is not that I like a lot of my guitar or anything, because I have many better guitars at home, like Santos Hernandez original and many Barbero original, many guitars, right? But he wanted to play with that out of habit there on the stage, and then of course for recordings and other things, he also was a connoisseur and will praise and appreciate different instruments, including of course the original Barberos and these. And then, well, as an evolution point, right, because things have to evolve. We cannot remain in the past eternally. That's why this is so valuable. Same like what the Stradivari did in that time, these people are doing the same thing. And that's objectively proven, it's not just a talk, a cheap talk. The Stradivari did also change the angle of the head, etc. I will post that in the description of the video, because it's extremely interesting how these things evolve in time. But before we get a guitar, and then we knew that how we are playing there is not how it will be. We have to arrange to fix it, and then lower the fretboard, put another fret because it was in tune, and then switch this thing here. The notes were probably defective, and then the saddles have to be lower. All that because the setting itself was wrong to begin with. So how it can be a good thing? If you see Paco's guitar, it doesn't have any of the flaws that a regular common model has. That when I go as a customer to a store or to a brand and buy a guitar, and they treat me different because I am not Paco de Lucia, that's not good, and I don't like that. And if someone wants that, that's good. But if you see at the description, I will also post a video about these cracks in the top and etc. Because other implementation was that this will never crack here, as most of the Spanish guitars do crack, except this. And the one that Paco played, it has the crack here. You will see there in the video I will post. There are pictures from a site that did change the machine heads for him or something. And then they post some pictures of his guitar. And then you can appreciate how this is cracked because of a problem inherent in the structure, which here will not happen. So why I would want that? But that guitar didn't have the defects and the unevenness in the drilling of the bridge and all the problems that were made. Why? Because it was made for Paco. So if it is made for Paco, then I'd be very careful to make it. And if it is for you, then I don't care. How that's good, right? You will say, well, wow, man, I am paying the same, right? But that's how some people goes around. If it is for Paco, then let's do it right. If it is not for Paco, then we don't care. But this doesn't happen here in this brand. And that's why I recommended it. And that's why, because I feel, and by the 15 years of experience I have with it, I know that this is great. And it's flawless. And it's objectively proven flawless. Not just a romantic talk or someone said opinions of someone that are not proving, right? And proven, and this is the only fretboard that tunes in Spain, by the way. And check out the description of this video, another that talks about opinions versus facts, because we have to prove things. And then that's how a guitar has to be fixed. Then, of course, these ones, like this is a 2009, but that it does have the dull, obsolete bone as nut, and the ebony fretboard and the bridge of rosewood, which is a traditional setting. And this I feel, even if that's a great guitar, I feel it's contrasted. Those ones we didn't need to fix anything, but anyway, that's what's great, right? But this thing is just fantastic, and it's so much superior, totally. So that's one thing that I don't have to fix anything of a guitar. I get the guitar and it's just how it is, it's perfect. And by the way, don't be changing and doing weird experiments with the action, because, look, the setting of each guitar, which is its gene, its genetic information, is there, and it has generally perfect guitars like these are made, designed to be played with a certain action, means intending for action, not just the distance between this and this, between the 6th string and the 12th fret. But about the whole setting of the instruments, hence some guitars, people, we used to think this was a mistake, of course, 20 years ago. We used to think, well, if this is too high, then let's turn down this note and it will become good. And if it is not enough, then we even go against the bridge, sand it down, and then put another note. But that will alter the whole thing, right? This is just a modification that is unacceptable, really. But that's how it was. That's how Paco has his guitar, so with a lot of fixing things. Right? And then it's just like a car, which is not a common car, but it's a car fixed to run more or to go faster. Right? You see it externally, it looks the same, but inside is different. Or a computer, which is highly equipped inside, and I say, well, I just see the same. No, it's not the same. Inside has a different thing, right? So this, of course, you have to know to notice that. You have to know and to play and to feel what's the difference between one thing and another, all the proper guidelines, not just shalom. So in many years, I came to this understanding, and that's why I love this brand, because I don't need to fix anything. And if it has a saddle there, leave the saddle as it is there. Right? Because this is aged wood, so it will never bend or anything, but you need to let it take its shape to the instrument. And maybe after 1 year, if you want, it's not necessary at all, you can do a small modification on the action, but it's really not advisable. Leave the instruments as they are already. Nothing to be fixed here. This is another obsolete thing from the past, thanks to AG. Because before we had to change all the time, the notes, these things, the height here. A guitar, if the setting is wrong, suppose the action is lowered here to 2.5 millimeters or anything, which is useless really, because that's not what Paco used to begin with, not what he likes to record, not at all. Now, you said, let's lower this, okay, by lowering the knot. But now, because of the drilling holes, how those holes are drilled, then I maybe will not have any angle. So I just lost all the pulsation of the touch of the instrument on the process of lowering the bridge. And it may be still very high here, or it will be low here and very high bridge. This is problems that comes out of not balanced and accuracy on the setting. Setting is when it's made, the top, the neck, and the bridge have to be in harmony, and if that is not in harmony, the set is wrong. That's what we had before. So that is the difference. That's what you were asking, that you said the guitars before has to be fixed so that become playable. This is the thing. We have to do all this surgical stuff so that it becomes playable. But it didn't offer you really a reliable condition, because of also another thing, and after a while it may be bent, the neck a bit or something, or some inaccuracy, and then, well, you switch the note from this, you have to sound from this side, if it is short, the octave, all these things came out. I know them all, because in 25 years I have seen everything, yes, I have seen everything, and I was also there. But when you understand these points, and you can have an instrument that does not need to be fixed or touched, anything, it's just perfect how it is. That's what I want. And I think that's what everyone will want if they know the difference. Of course, you have to take it in your hand, because to explain these things in words is not possible. You need to play one, just like this make fretboard. It's so different. It offers so soft touch with the left hand. You can fly there and do things that I cannot do with the obsolete ebony fretboard. This comes from classical guitar, really. And it doesn't serve the argument that there was no distinction then. Because we do have a distinction of techniques, isn't it? We play as a we play as scales, we play many different things, like many different techniques than classical. So it doesn't serve to say, well, then was no distinction about that, and the Lucias will be based on what the customers ask them. Yeah, but man, do we want to stay eternally in the Stone Age, or we have to evolve? This is just what this right? And that's why you ask that, because you also have to fix. You told me I have to fix 2 guitars I bought. To fix them means you have to lessen the fretboard, even balance it differently, refret it, and there is a risk already. Not that there is not a proper refret, eventually we will refret all, but as you said, if you refret it, then now it became artificially low, the action, because the setting was not designed to be played like that. Also because probably it was as classic guitar setting in flamenco wood cycles, which is another fallacy, like it is to try guitars. Watch that description. Trying guitars and other Obsolete ideas. Those were all things of the past. Now people is much more informed, and if you know what you want, then you can get it, just as I can get what I want, because I know very clearly what I want, and what I don't want I also know. I don't want a guitar that doesn't tune, right? Or that doesn't project properly. And here I do feel contracted, the sound. Feel a world of difference. But this, of course, you have to see for you. I can just suggest or say anything, but if I ask you, people say, what is the feel of playing with this guitar? In the left hand, you say it's just delicious feel on the left hand and that. Yes, but to really explain, we can tell you an idea. But if I ask you what an apple taste is, you describe me that with words. What does an apple taste like? Tell me. Put the description of the video in comment. What does it taste? And then you will see that taking a bite on an actual apple and feeling the taste and what you said there, it's just, you need to know by the experience. Therefore, as we before had to be, you have to play one in your hands. And before we have to fix everything because there was all wrong. Actually, we went to the store, buy the guitar wrong, and then say, well, but I will fix it. That was the problem. We didn't even know the problem. Right? Then after a while, also other friends told me, I don't think this is just an irregular thing. Why would we have to keep fixing? Why it was not made from the beginning like this? Well, because luthiers were just doing whatever they want, and as they do now still. But the problem is that now they will have to really become intelligent and think what their customer needs, what we guitar players need. Because otherwise they want to say just one thing, but, and again, luthiers have no authority to say if a guitar has playability or good sound, because they don't play, and they don't play at this level. And unless they play at this level, they cannot speak about it because they have no experience about it. So anything they said, luthier saying, this guitar I made is great, if he's saying, it's the same like if my mother says, my son is the best guitar, my mother is talking to another friend and saying, you know, my son is the best guitar player of the world. This is the same thing, right? They have no authority to say it. It's you, the guitar player, that have to say them, because that is also subjective, and it will be based on what you are used to. I was used to any kind of guitar, traditional guitar. Then I got used to this midpoint between that, which by modifying the bridge, making it extra flat, it changed everything also. It was a big major change. And this now, with the neck of flat maple, with the maple fretboard, with the maple bridge, is total and the carbon fiber knot. With the sound wall, double sound portal, the liberated top, and that this is just, and tell me what I have to fix of this guitar, just see the setting. The setting it has, it's perfect. And this is another myth about this low action thing. Low action thing means, first of all, the setting has to be perfect. Otherwise, this so-called low action we got also by lowering the notes and all that, that's an artificial way to make happen something which is not there. It's like painting the hair or putting a blue eye here, this thing, the artificial color eyes, and then I will have blue eyes. Yeah, but really when you go to sleep, one day you will take out that and it will become again brown, right? So what's the meaning of this thing? Right? All this brings to inquisitiveness and to knowledge, and therefore you have to cultivate knowledge. Okay, thank you. I hope this was useful, and I see you next time.